Hello, everybody. My name is Dizzy, and welcome back to my second IRL stream. We had a little bit of a mini panic attack on the first one, so it's only uphill from here. But welcome, and welcome, hopefully, to Meat Space. My name is Dizzy. I don't know if I said that before. Everyone here probably knows that already, but today I've got something a little sort of different and maybe a little bit unusual lined up for you because, well, it's a long, complicated story as to how the idea got settled on. But uh, today I'm hoping to do for you some stuff with this bit of kit that I have upside down. This is a pyrograph model H1. If I had to guess, it is probably older than I am. I don't know if there's anything inside that will tell us how old it is. No, okay, that's fine. You'll notice this box is empty. It's because I've already got it out. But yeah, so we're going to be doing some wood burning art. Thank you, Artie. So this time, this is nails. Same nails as before, but this time I did them myself. So any flaws, any transparency bits, which I can see a few of, any bubbles, any overspills, that's all me. Particularly on this hand because I am a righty, and so this was it didn't go well. But yeah, we're gonna do some burning. First I'm gonna put on a wee little itty bitty bit of background music. Oh, that might be a smidgen loud. How's that sound? We are listening to the Relaxed Movement. 12 hours of copyright-free music. I think this is their Autumn Vibe one, possibly? But yeah. Just says you may be righty, but are you alrighty? I am mostly fine. I'm a little nervous because I am not the most artistic of people in the world. I am far from it. And I've set up a whole stream where the point is me doing artsy things. So, this may or may not have been a good idea, but it'll be fine, I'm sure. One of the things, so to show you what can be done with this medium, I've got a little demonstration that will also be a backing board. But first, let me show you the kit. So this is the big old transformer, and plugging into it, we have this. This is my pen for today. This is the pyrograph itself. We have an actor in the chat. Welcome, thank you so much. I hope it's a bad idea. Let's make the funniest stories. Oh no. Doing obscure kind of art, everyone that seems to be good at it? Well, we'll see. I think that pretty much all pyro it looks pretty good. But then I've never seen myself do it properly. One thing you'll notice is this, and a few other things that you might see on stream today, have, like, a bit of paper taped over them. That's because this kit is my mother's. Like I say, it's older than me. And she has pyroed, names and places and all sorts of things onto it, as one does when one is sort of a doodling artist. So we've got this. I don't know if you can see there. Goes up to 2.2 volts. I think the light might be just a little bit too reflective. Setting it all to max because I did a little bit of experimenting before the stream. Hang on, I'm just going to turn this off before this causes an accident because it doesn't like being looped up around there. There we go. But yes. On testing, it doesn't really do the burning well enough at anything other than the max setting. You may occasionally, when I'm turning it on or off, hear like a little disconnect sound. I think that's because the transformer is a big old magnet plopped right on top of where my mouse cable goes. This is really distracting, this music. Well, I'm going to turn it down for me, even if I don't turn it down for you. There we go. Oh, we have a Shasskor. Welcome. Internet is terrible, but here for a bit. Well, thank you so much for being here for whatever bits you can provide. Yeah, so this thing is going to get really hot, and then we're going to burn stuff like this into some wood. But to show you what it can look like, if I just rest that up there, this is the backing board that we're going to be using today to protect my desk. And it's mostly plain, but you can kind of see we've got some of the lovely art that Mother has done. Now, obviously, this is wood burning and then colouring in, but if I flip it over, you will see this. This is my mother's practice board, would you believe? This looks absolutely gorgeous, doesn't it? And I don't know if you can kind of make it out, but these are all like different kinds of colouring on wood with then the line work done in pyro. I think that looks stunning. I'm not going to produce anything of that quality. Is that uterus? I think it's nominally a heart shape. You'll see here we've got a bottle of milk as a sensor. The reason why we have a bottle of milk as a sensor, let's just turn this around. The keyboard needs to go up there. And we can bring this back down, plop it on there. The reason why we have a bottle of milk as a sensor is because all of our sensor material today comes from the wrapping of this, a Vegani Il Panettone di Milano, DAL 1944. It was some pretty wrapping paper from a panettone that I thought looked good enough to cover up various sensitive details that may or may not be appearing. But yeah. The thing we have to do some pyro on today is this little bit here, which probably won't take us tremendously long, which is why this is going to be maybe a 2-part stream, and I've got some like Warhammer minis to start painting afterwards. This probably needs a little longer to heat up. But yeah. Artie says it looks incredible. It does. It absolutely does. I do not think I will ever be able to make anything of that caliber myself, but we can live in hope one day. So you probably can't see. Where's the camera? Where's the camera? Will camera focus? Do we think camera will focus? No, I don't think you can see anyway. I've got a little pencil sketch outline of what we're doing today already drawn on this because I knew I was going to be sort of a bit perfectionist about it, and we could easily have done a 3-hour stream of just me drawing and redrawing pencil stuff on this, but we're not going to do that. Instead, not with that attitude, you're not so Shasskor, thanks. Instead, we're going to see if we're, oh yes, we are ready to start. Oh my gosh, can you guys even see what I'm doing there? Camera's a little far away. I can't easily hold it up because it is like a pen. You need a surface to write on. If this is too small, let me know, and we will see how it goes. For now, I'm just doing a little outline jobby. Zoom and enhance. Oh, I tell you what, the settings on this camera are more or less non-existent. It's what you get when you get a 10 quid webcam, I suppose. Let me see if I can muck around a bit. Do we have a zoom at all? Camera control. No, we have no zoom. There is a zoom bar in OBS. It is completely grayed out. We have no zoom. Just have to change the resolution you're watching at. I could probably make the camera bigger, with the caveat that then stuff might be hiding. Hang on a sec. Hang on, I'm fiddling around in OBS, so give us a sec. Okay, so we got two options. We can have full screen camera, which might let you see better. I don't think Little Dizzy's going to get in the way, so I think that might be alright. That might be a better option. I'm going to go with that. It's not as big as the Lego. Last one worked fine for the Lego. This is a little smaller. But you can see, and this is so if you don't know pyrography, I've got a hot thing, I've got wood which burns. I am putting hot thing against wood very, very lightly to just burn in some lines. That's the whole principle of the thing. And it really is. It's not even pressing as hard as you would press with a pen. It is. You have to be so gentle with this once it gets up to temperature. Supposedly, if you keep it like pressed to a bit of wood, you will cool the nib down to the point where it makes a less stark line. However, the point where you press, a little bit like... I don't have a test bit of wood near me, unfortunately. I was doing testing on just random bits of deadfall from my garden. The bit where you press will give you a big blob of burnt. Which you generally, I think, do not want. Let's see how much I can bend in without coming into shot here. But for now, we're starting off doing like a little crescent shape. Around the edge. Not around the edge, around this bit. And the plan is I'm gonna make a crescent moon and shade it in. Do like that. Ah, we have a King Girl. Welcome. How's it going, King Girl? King Girl has been a little bit of a star. King Girl, how long are you going to be around for today? Because I have a thing that I would like you to be here to show off to people. But obviously, if you're not going to be around for the whole stream, then I will need to do it sooner rather than later. King Girl knows what I'm talking about, I should say. Because King Girl has been a wonderful bean. To be able to make the rest of the stream, don't worry. Amazing. Fantastic. So, having got our thing, we are going to go around the edge, the very outline of our little circle, so that it stands out, and then we'll shade in the middle. I hope you can kind of see the difference that that's making. You definitely can when I turn it on its edge like that. Thought I knew what you were talking about, and you said King Girl's been wonderful. No, I have no idea. Oh, King Girl. And yeah, sometimes after you've been drawing for a bit, as well, you just need to take the pen off for a little while, just so it can heat back up, because it does cool as it transfers heat to the wood. You wouldn't sort of expect that like it would absorb that much heat, but it really does. Obviously, I'm not going to touch this to my skin, but like if I were to do that, it would cool the nib to the point where I couldn't draw on it with it for a second or two. Yeah, this maybe should come with like a, not exactly a don't try this at home warning, because like I'm trying it at home, but you know, this is a hot tool. This is a dangerous tool. I'm assuming it's a bit less hot than a soldering iron, but I think if you treat it the same way as like a soldering iron, you know, it's got a big hot end. Be careful how you use it. That will serve you well if you ever wish to go into the pyrographing yourself. Use with care. There we go. There are probably lots and lots of warnings and stuff on the box. Although, then again, if it is older than me, it might be from a time before such things were widespread. So maybe not. This bit here is not quite as thick as I really want it to be, which is frustrating. You're a hot tool. Aww. Warning, this pyrography is being performed by an untrained amateur. Exactly, Shasskor, exactly. nearly finished our outline. I'm not nearly as zen as like Bob Ross. This. But I hope I'm channeling that sort of a vibe. Alright, outline is done. Now we're gonna shade in the crescent. That's not how you do a crescent moon normally. Normally you shade in the bit that's not the crescent, but we're shading in the crescent bit this time. Ingle says, I'm not sure if your face is a hot tool is better or worse. Oh dear. The way we're gonna shade is, I'm just gonna do little lines, narrowly spaced, coming out from the circle of our crescent. And you need to, you can't do them too fast, because if you do them too fast, they won't be dark enough. So you've got to take your time on each line, but make sure that the pen is always moving, so that you don't get one bit that splodges. And it will be darker in towards the middle, but that's fine. That gives us a little bit of a radiating effect. Who says I must be having a craving? I keep thinking the Dino Trivia cards are a pack of bounties. I must admit, the concept of having a craving for a pack of bounties strikes me as weird, but that's only because I don't like coconut. Not because I think your craving is invalid or anything. I just can't relate at all. Alright, now this hole, I don't actually know how I'm approaching this hole. I don't know if I'm going to outline the hole, or if I'm just going to sort of shade around it. I think I'm just going to shade around it for now, and if I don't like it, we'll outline the hole as well. Shasskor is having a craving for brownies, but has a brownie cooling. Ooh. Shaq says coconut is the devil, Boom can have all the bounties. It is always important in every friend group to have one person who likes coconut so that they can have the bounties out of a box of celebrations or other coconut flavoured chocolates out of an equivalent assortment box. That's like a really important role in society. That's much more important than whatever people think is going on with gender, let's put it that way. Thank you, Artemis, for adding that quote. Who wants to skin them with their teeth? Oh, wow. Okay, the shading is going well so far. I'm having to take it slow because this really does eat the heat from the pen. My slight concern is I'm a little bit off angle. Like I'm aiming to come like out from the center. Hold up so I can show you. I'm aiming to come out from like the center of this circle. But instead I'm slightly off with these lines. They're going to about there. I need to be coming from about here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to correct that as we go. That's because basically I'm gender fluid in terms of treats. Add on a few lines. Try and get this to curve out a little bit. So I need to be closer together at the bottom than I am at the top of each line. That's how I change angle here. I blobbed that up at the end. That last line, which is unfortunate. I think what I'm gonna do... No, I was thinking maybe I should start from this end and then work into the middle. I think that might end up in disaster at the middle, so I'm not going to do that actually. Gotta remember, do slow lines. Slow lines. It's difficult to do both slow and like relatively straight. This is quite challenging for me actually. Jessica says, I think in primary school we sketched design with pens before we started burning wood. I've got a sketch design, but I didn't sketch in each individual shading line. Which maybe was foolhardy of me. I was just like, oh yeah, there's a bit here, I can just shade that. For what it's worth, I don't think, like, keeping the pen straight without a ruler, and obviously you can't use a ruler because the end of this is hot, it'll melt your ruler. Or you'll use a metal ruler, and the metal will conduct all of the heat away from the pen and you won't burn any wood. Either way, not what you want. I don't think I could follow a guideline that was straight. More straight than this anyway. It's interesting to know that you did wood burning in school though, Shasskor. That's cool. Alright, the pen is a bit cool. The lines are getting a little less dark, so we're gonna pop it over there to rest for a sec. Shaka fooling no one. Huh. Yeah, the heat comes and goes from the pen. I don't know if that's partly because it's like an older model, or just how I use it. The tip is currently pretty cold. I'm having difficulty getting any darkness of line. Ask says, I think it was around the time they were teaching us to make bowls and rose malling. I don't know what rose malling is. But making bowls is also really cool. We did a bit of woodwork in school, but it was like sort of joinery techniques and mostly design rather than doing and like finishing up and stuff. I made like a little desk tidy that would have been absolutely useless for helping you keep your desk tidy. It's okay, Shaka. We will all recover. Probably. Oh. How are we doing? Okay. There we go. We can burn again. That's a nice dark line there. Alright. Sadly, I can't bring this to you through like smell-o-vision, but the smell of the wood burning is absolutely gorgeous. It is a crime that you are being deprived of the smell. Maybe that's just me being weird and liking how burning wood smells. It says the site is bringing the smell back from your memories. Aww. I've come up with a cunning plan to make sure I'm curving these lines around. Is that I start at the bottom, narrow, and I go away and I start at the top, wide, and then I have two things I can just link. That's clever. That's cunning. Yeah, this is going to be a slow process. We've got a lot of burning to do. So this will take a decent amount of time, I'm imagining. And it's going to be a little bit slow going, but we're in it for the long haul. Oh, it's just the brown it is. Have you been watching for 28 minutes already? God, has it been that long? It does not feel that long. You're right. Now getting our lines down. We are over a third of the way through this crescent. And you can see, like, it's not a big piece of wood, and I wanted to start on... I didn't want to, like, queue up a huge piece of wood and a huge project for the stream, and then be like, oh, well, actually, it's going to take me 4 hours to do. So I'd much rather have something that underruns than something that overruns massively. Where did the time go? The time went in the oven with the brownies. I guess, Shasskor. Oh, it takes a fair bit of concentration. Those of you who've seen me doing like artistic-y things before will know I'm not tremendously naturally artistic. Every artistic thing that I do has to kind of a little bit be forced out of me. So this takes quite a bit of sort of concentration and brain power. I've got to take the time out of the oven, it's gonna get burned. Oh dear. So long as it looks pretty getting burned, does it matter? Oh, this is a dark one apparently. We've got a dark line there. Pen's decided to heat up. All of a sudden. And with the motion, so like I say, I'm not pressing at all. It's a gentle stroking motion, but it's also can you see the? I need something you'll be able to see the nib against when I hold it up. Hang on. It's a gentle sort of tiny, almost like small oar strokes, like down and pull and up, and down and pull and up to draw. Because just trying to do a big long line. I'll see if I can just try and do a big long line to show you. Just trying to do a big long line. It gets a bit weedy by halfway through. Actually gets a bit weedy the whole way down, to be honest. So just a sort of a slow, gentle bit. So the nib isn't on the wood for too long at a time. That's how we'll get there. A wafting motion. That is an excellent descriptor for a boom boom. I could not have put it better myself. And you know this because you just watched me try. Alright. We had one really hot line, and now the pen's cooled down again. It's not being shaded like tremendously evenly, but I kind of don't mind. I think it's fine. It looks organic and authentic, like a real person did it, which is nice because I did. Shasskor sending accidental love hearts. Well, it's fine. We can pretend they're intentional love hearts. needs a little time to warm up again. That's fine. This next line isn't coming particularly quickly. That doesn't make it any less heartfelt. More. I wonder if I can, while I'm waiting for this to get hot again, I wonder if I can Google Pyrograph model H1. To see if it is likely to be older than me. No, I don't seem to see. I can't obviously see when it came out. Apparently they are available at Amazon still? Really? No, they're not. That was a completely... It said, oh, check it out on Amazon. And then it's like, this is a completely different thing. I might be able to show you what modern pyrography things look like. Hang on a sec. Dark studio mode. Yes. Add. Window catcher. There we go. This is apparently what a modern one looks like. You can see there's all sorts of different tips, and they're like solid tip rather than being wire tip. You get all these interesting shapes, so you can just stamp like a love heart into it if you want, I guess. Or some weird triangle things. Boop. There we go. Alright. Let's get back to the burn. Stab a heart with it. Oh, that's a nifty little heart emote thing there, Shasskor. No, stamp a heart, as in like. I don't know if my mic was able to pick me up going hiss like a burning noise. But imagine I'm providing all my own sound effects. There aren't actually any sound effects to this. It's super duper quiet. Moon says literally a soldering kit without the solder. Maybe? One of the things is I don't know what the temperature is of this versus the temperature of a soldering iron. I have no idea which is hotter. I'm assuming the soldering iron is hotter, but I don't know. Just there's also an emoji. Twitch does have other symbols and emotes. I have never quite grasped the linguistic difference between an emote and an emoji. I will level with you, Shasskor. I kind of use them interchangeably. Now maybe this is partly because I've never bothered looking up what the difference between an emote and an emoji is. King girl. Well, there we go. We got some heat back in the nib. Some darker lines down. I'm sort of loosely aware. Different woods burn and like take to pyro differently well. I have no idea what's a good wood for pyro and what's a bad wood for pyro. I think this is a wood that is like designed to be pyroed. Because do I have the piece to hand? I do not have the piece to hand. Next time the nib needs to warm up a little bit, I will go and grab the piece that this got cut from. But this is cut from like a blank that was specifically designed for use with pyro, I believe. Okay, Pen. Just because I said next time you need time to warm up doesn't give you an excuse to suddenly cool down. Okay, Pen needs some time to heat up. Let's see if I can go grab that super quick. Oops, you will have to forgive me if I'm away from my microphone for just a second. Ah, right, there we go. Apologies if you just got my back of my head in shot. It's the getting up is the easy bit. It's the sitting down is the tricky part, particularly with this camera setup. But yeah, so this is the blank that it came from. And then I also grabbed while I was up. This was just a stick. I don't know if it shows well on the camera. It's not quite as dark. Can I shade this in any way so you can actually see what's written? This was just me practicing stuff. Partly getting in, seeing what temperature this would take to burn. And partly it was practice for the transition screen. This one, this boy. These are both Deadfall, as I say, from my gun. Oh, camera, there we go. What are people saying in chat? Emoji versus emoticon versus emote. See, I'm not sure what the difference is between the emoji and the emote there, apart from the fact that you happen to have a Twitch custom emote. Shaka says, both your IRL streams give me the urge to paint my nails. It'll be pointless to line up picking off almost immediately. I was surprised how long my last lot lasted. Like, it got chipped to bits, but it survived mostly unscathed until I had to go see a friend and didn't want to have, half-baked, half-chipped nail varnish on. I think you should do it, Shaka. I think if it'll make you feel nice, even if it's only for a day, then I think that would be worth it, but what do I know? Artie likes my hair colour? Oh, thanks. Boom Boom did that. We had a big gay hair dye party at Boom Boom's. There may be another one for ShakaCon. I do not know. I think there have been suggestions of that as a plan. Shasskor says, OMG, you made that. I made what? The transition one? Yeah. I didn't take the picture myself, though, because I'm not that proficient with the camera. So I was the one holding the stick, which you can't see. But sort of somewhere down below the little knot. Was me with one knee on some wet mossy grass because it was raining, as you can tell from the picture. While somebody who knew how to do things with focal distance and other things like that actually did the picture taking part. King girl. It says emojis are standardized symbols of the Unicode library. Oh, okay. So an emoji is a specific emote. Gotcha. Oh, come on, little pen. Oh, there's just no oomph in you. No oomph. It's on the max setting. I promise. It don't go higher than that. That's all the way around to the left. It has 4 settings. I can't easily show you with that hand. Hang on. 1, 2, 3 more settings. There we go. But yeah, it's just needs some time to recover every so often. We have a Zoe in chat. How's it going? I hope you enjoy burning things, because that's what we are doing today, currently. It is taking a little while because our burning device is not very hot. It's in fact extremely cold. Well, it's not extremely cold, but it's barely making any marks whatsoever on a little bit of wood. What is the magic wand we're using? This is a Janik Pyrograph Model H1 that belongs to my mother. It comes in this lovely box that is admittedly a little battered from age. And it's a hot thing with a bit of wire on the ends. But it's a bit of wire that gets hot when current passes through it. I'll show you anyways. And you press it against wood or leather. In this case, we've got wood, and it burns. My paragraph is somehow below freezing. Artie, I think if you ran so much current through your magic wand that it was able to burn wood, I think you would have a problem. I think you would be using it wrong. Normally I'm not like one to say there is a way to use that kind of thing wrong. I think that would be using it wrong. Little pen, are you even on? At this point, double check the connection, secure and everything. You're about to meet God. Oh dear. Let's move that out of the way as well, so it's not cluttering up. Ugh. This is a slow bit. I knew that this was going to take a little bit of time to do the thing. I hadn't quite anticipated this many, like, sort of downtime gap things. It's a shame I don't have any, like, crazy polls to do. That would be an excellent why. Oh my gosh, Boom Boom. I just glanced across and saw your chat message. Oh my gosh. Alright, we're getting a little bit of color out of it now. Just a smidgen. But really only just a smidgen. Polls asking you about dinosaurs, but I don't have any dinosaurs to build, so I can't reasonably ask you to decide what dinosaur I should build. I can, I suppose, use this as an opportunity to talk about things that are upcoming. Because my affiliate anniversary is on, I think, the 27th of February. So it is hoving very rapidly into view now. And I've obviously never done an affiliate anniversary before. I've never done a stream for it. I understand that sort of the traditional thing, perhaps, for a lot of streamers is to do like a subathon type thing. Anniversary is my birthday. Oh, you were born on the 27th of February. That's cool, if so. Thank you for the throne plug as well, King. Oh my goodness, you're a sweetie. Yes, I do have one. It is down below, or you can type exclamation mark throne. There we go. It is almost entirely Lego because there's almost entirely things that like I could do on stream, and that's pretty much like just Lego. There may or may not be like 2 other things that aren't Lego, possibly, I can't remember. But yeah, so I've been thinking about stuff to do. The idea of a subathon, I mean, I understand why streamers do it. It's a nice way to get income. I feel like with a small audience, a subathon feels like I'm asking you guys quite sort of directly, like, give me money, give me money, give me money. Which is sort of, to some extent, is something I'm going to... Evolution Plus is something you can do on stream. Yeah, it's something I might sort of have to get comfortable with, you know, in this business. There is just... Is this thing even on at all? I'm going to turn the transformer off. Turn the transformer back on. This boy is really not warming up at all. Yeah, so I don't know how I would sort of feel like that. No, I've not blown a fuse. The light's still on. So, like, the transformer's still doing stuff. It's just not putting out enough heat quickly enough to actually warm the thing up when I'm trying to use it. But yeah, I want to do some sort of, like, anniversary stream, and it might well be an in-person stream doing stuff on my desk like this. I don't know if I want to fully commit to sort of subathoning it, and I guess I'd appreciate feedback on that matter. Seeing as more or less everybody who views me regularly is going to be here right now. But yeah, I've got some plans for what I want to do, and that will be whether or not it's a subathon. But you know, obviously, if it's a subathon, then like it might be for longer. It might be more interesting and weird. I do not have the patience to do this as like a full-time hobby. We've got a crescent moon on this side to do, right? We got another crescent moon on this side to do. We're nearly an hour in, and we haven't even finished this one. And it's all because the pen is too cold and not giving me enough burn. Yeah, come on, sweetie. You'd never believe that with the difficulty it's having making marks like this, you'd never believe that thing also made like these horrendously deep burns. I don't quite know why. I'm assuming these were like attempts to straighten out the wire ends, because I don't know if you can sort of see them very well. They're kind of about the right shape. They kind of match, so I assume this was Mother straightening out the pen after it'd been like bent or something. Shasskor says art is rarely a quick and done deal, and most of the time it shouldn't be. Ah, but you see, I have quick and done deal disorder. What I don't want is for like the shading to be intense up here and then get weaker down here as the pen runs out of energy. I can try changing it, because you can do like a this way stroke motion instead of a this way stroke motion. That tends, in my experience, to get a thicker line. But it's much harder to control. And also, no, it's still not enough. Okay, pen is obviously having a bad day. Pat pen. Scroll up a little bit in chat and see what I miss people saying. It says I've seen too many highly specific content creators because my reaction to Evolution Plus or something you can do on stream was not on Twitch. Oh no. Oh no. Shasskor says, I made plans in case I would finish my artwork too quickly in an animation stream, and I didn't even finish lining out all the arms. Oh wow. I suppose I could kill time while this is sort of warming up again, and start getting and show you guys what will be happening if and when we do the Warhammer bits of today's stream. That's the thing I can show you. I will put us on the transition cam for just a sec while I grab them, because they're on the other side of my room, thinking that I'd sort of take down this setup and put up the next setup. But I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I've got a box. As you can see, it's a box for a HD IP camera, which is not my camera. I don't think my camera is HD at all. But it doesn't matter, because the camera is not in the box. What is in the box are some boys. And those are the boys we might be painting a little bit later. I'm gonna put them to a side, see how much heat we've got. The answer is still no heat whatsoever. Am I sure we're on the highest setting here? We definitely are. Gosh, Is this the internet with a HD camera? Can you? I don't know. I haven't checked. Oh, apparently it has Wi-Fi. Oh, weird. Boys in general, or boys the actual Hammer? In this case, boys in general. So I've got 5 little guys. 2, 3, 4, 5. And these are all unpainted. These are tactical marines. They are either not in print anymore, or they're going to be going out of print very soon. But these were the classic Warhammer miniature for my entire life, really. As you can see, they've all been base coated in green, but other than that, they have not been painted at all. And several years ago now, in fact, I painted up. This is what a finished guy looks like. Here's the only finished marine I have. I've literally not finished any other space marine in this color scheme at all ever. Actually, he's not technically finished because he doesn't have a icon on this shoulder. But other than that, he is finished. So the plan is to take these 5 and transform them into him. Now that definitely wouldn't happen. All of that in one stream. Shasskor says they're on the way out, but not officially. Those are the old tactical marines, are they? I don't know. I think because this guy, I don't know if I can show you it properly. I don't know if the camera will let you see. It's a little bit difficult to make out when it's all just like green on green. This guy has the sideways tactical arrow on his right shoulder, which I think. Wait, arrows on? Sorry, on his right shoulder. I think that means that this is a Dark Angel, specifically tactical marine. And I think what that means is that these guys are from the Dark Heresy box set, which I dread to think when that came out. No, not Dark Heresy. What's it called? Dark Vengeance, possibly? Let's have a look. Yes, so he's going to be from the Dark Vengeance box set. In fact, all of these guys are, which came out in 2012. Now, I didn't get these guys in 2012. I got a resale copy from someone who hadn't opened theirs. Probably in sort of 2018-ish. But yeah, they're old. These guys are old. why do you have no warmth at all? Are you just done for the day? Have you just given up? Like the heat shield, this bit, is still hot. The tip obviously has some heat in it, just not enough to actually do a burn. I do not know quite why. If it doesn't warm up by sort of half past, I might have to go and consult with somebody who knows about these things. Just did a part of the circuit break. I mean, I don't know how it could have, but I also don't know how it, like, what it looks like inside. I've never opened it up. But yeah. So these guys, the models are from, I guess, 2012. But either way, the unit that they represent will be gone soon. But that's fine, because I don't really collect to play, particularly at the moment. I'm just not a huge fan of the current edition of 40k and its rules. But I have a huge backlog of stuff. So I have this guy. This guy, he's a dreadnought. So when one of these guys dies, if they're still like salvageable a little bit, their brain and whatever's left of their body gets put inside one of these. And he is magnetized, so I can stick on different choices of arms. Like, I don't think this arm actually needs to be magnetized. I don't think this arm has any options. But yeah. So they're in the finished version of this is in almost sort of camo adjacent kind of color scheme. Which really doesn't show well on this camera at all. I might take some pictures with the proper camera, put them up on my Twitter later to show y'all. But yeah, so that, and then with a bronze trim for this company, and highlights in a sort of a shiny blue on the weapons and chest decals and other stuff. And what I was hoping to get done today on these guys would basically just be like a single layer of green on them, because this is primer undercoat green. This is not sort of the proper green that will form the foundation of their paint job. I'm gonna go grab someone and consult on this. And by someone I mean my mother, who will not be showing up on stream. So I'm gonna go to break real soon. Shasskor says, I was at the local hobby store last week, overheard an employee teaching new hires about Warhammer. Hearing fresh ears without prior investment hear about it made it clear just how much of a mess GW and their products are, at least currently. I'm interested to know in what way you mean, because obviously I, as somebody who has been in the hobby since I was 12, maybe, like, I think they're a mess, but I have sort of the kinds of strong opinions that only a long-time fan can have. So I'm interested to hear what you have to say on that, Shasskor, but I am going to go to break. I'll be right back, hopefully. But in the meantime, grab yourselves a drink, go to the bathroom if you need it, and other such things. Take care of yourselves. I'll be right back. Hello everyone. Apologies for the interlude. I was getting some expert professional advice. Camera will be back up in just a sec, and I'll make sure it's actually pointing the right way. Because it got knocked a little bit. There we go. Right, hello. Hi. Yeah. Conclusion was, it might be having a moment. And like the body might be getting too hot and overheating the thing, while the end isn't getting the heat and stuff. Yeah. So we're gonna work it. It might be a little slow, and if we get some real big breaks, I might grab the mini boys or other things and do some stuff. Let's see, because Mother came in and made some fresh marks on this lovely board. So it's got some ability to... Oh, there we go, look. I don't know if you can see. There we go, it's really got some heat back now. Having a little cool down, and then the comeback has done it some good. Marvellous. King Girl. I'm sure it's not a problem you have any right now. Sorry, I'm sure it is a problem you have right now already. There we go. Okay, we might be able to get this finished off on this side fairly soon then. It keeps running hot. Because we are nearly there. We're like an hour in. I wasn't expecting it to take an hour. But we are an hour in. I hope to run into that problem less without HRT, oh dear. Let's see what Shasskor had to say. Are Chaos Space Marines fancier than Space Marines? No, they're evil. Space Marines used to be called Space Marines, then changed to Astartes, now Space Marines again. With the events to buy the digital version of the books, you have to buy the physical book to get the digital book. All the rules updates are digital. That is a terrible strategy, to be fair. Hey, GW, you can send us updated images of your stock. Sure, here's a bunch of outdated images. Wonderful. Haha. Oh dear. Yeah. I've gone a little bit wide on that line. Alright. We are nearly there, just taking it slowly. Doing a little bit of a waft. We might have to turn it off again for a sec in a minute, but I'm hoping to get this last little bit finished. Oh dear. Now that you can't buy a digital copy even for the same price feels stupid. It's... GW has always had an interesting sort of... Because Games Workshop is primarily a model-making company. And that, I think, has always been their opinion. And they make rules primarily to support the sales of their models, rather than any other reason. They're not like Magic the Gathering or something, where they make a game. And they are concerned about the health of that game. They make models, and they have a game so that people will buy the models. And because of that, the game is quite secondary. That's going to sit there for a sec. Because the game is quite secondary, it doesn't get kind of the same sort of love and attention. And the power creep, which does happen to all games, the power creep is sort of allowed to be significantly stronger in GW. But because they exist to sell products, they also have an interesting update with kind of an interesting relationship with how they update rules. And so, like, they have a yearly, I think it is, book of rule updates and stuff that they'll release a physical version of. And it's it's kind of cumbersome when you buy rules, and the rules are bad because they weren't play tested enough, and they only exist as sort of an afterthought to make you buy miniatures anyway. And then they get balanced later on because they were so bad in the first place. But then GW has to push that balance update to people. Do you always say, "Oh, so worried maintaining trademark copyright, they make their products more inaccessible"? Yeah. Yeah, Shasskor, with the rules being out of date, it's real bad for people who actually love the game. Because I do like the game of Warhammer. I'm mostly in it for lore and model building, but I like the game of Warhammer conceptually. I just can't ever really get like a time to interact with it properly. Because, as you say, there's never a time when the rules are in date. There's never a time when the rules are good. Just a couple years ago, they used to put the balance updates for codecs that hadn't even released yet. Wow. That's quite low even for them, I think. But yeah, the lore and the hobby and the universe of Warhammer is fantastic, and I know that there's upcoming stuff with like Henry Cavill as like a show and a showrunner, which I think is really exciting because I do love the world so much, and I'm really excited to see it. I've decided I am going to outline this little hole in the middle, by the way. I am really excited to see that world on screen. There was a movie, not that long ago. Actually, I say not that long ago. It might have been like 2015, which kind of was that long ago now. But I still haven't seen that. Anyway, having done a little crescent on this side, I've also got a little bit of writing to do. This I am tracing out. Boop. Because I'm happy enough with what I've done. I want to put my name on it. And you can see when I'm doing, I don't know if you can do that. When I do the dots, you just sort of rest it on and leave it there for a sec, and it really spreads out the heat and makes a fairly firm dot. I might get to the end of this line. I'm not. I think I'm gonna finish off my full URL. Twitch.tv. I need a slash ideally. I'll turn the hot thing off. Yeah. Pen is having a moment. Okay, it's having too much of a moment for now. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit slow going, which I apologise for, especially as, again, we've got a whole other side to do. But yeah, Games Workshop, I can't really say that they're mismanaging it because they are making huge amounts of money. The company has sort of never been more profitable, but that's coming at the expense of user friendliness. And with the Space Marine miniature line, they're out of reach now because I'm a numpty and I put it too far away. I don't even know how I managed to put it down that far away, but I did. Look, I'm scrolling back to grab it. There we go. The Space Marine line has had, or is in the process of having, a complete, like, replacement. So this boy, hang on, where is he? Not you. This guy, he's got a plasma gun. But he's a what are they called? He's a Hellblaster. He's a new plasma guy. And this guy, he also has a plasma gun. He's an old plasma guy. And I don't know if it shows so much as the physical model, but this guy is about a head taller. So all the new models are about a head taller than the old models. And they're not, other than that being like-for-like replacements, they're replacing a mixed unit. So like this guy is one plasma guy. in a unit of guys with bolt guns. So these guys have smaller guns. They're replacing that sort of unit structure with units of guys that all just have the special weapon. Because, I mean, A, it's better if all your guys have the shiny fancy special weapon. Right? You know, why would you have a unit of Marines with machine guns and then one guy with a rocket launcher when you could just have a whole unit with rocket launchers, right? Well, mechanically in game, that is actually superior. And so they're just... They're replacing it with not like-for-like replacements, and they're replacing pretty much the entire range, which means armies that people have been collecting for more than my lifespan are suddenly now like completely out of date and can't be used because the units have been discontinued, and so they don't get new rules. So as the game marches on, they won't be able to play with their old miniatures anymore. And it's so that they buy a lot of new miniatures, and it's mostly working. But it's... yeah. It's not great for us, the players. Planned obsolescence? Yeah, exactly. And, you know, there are some kits that they just sort of got announced as being like, oh, by the way, we're discontinuing this kit. After they were already out of stock, they just said like, well, we're just not replacing the stock. So even people who like really liked the old kits and wanted to get one before they go couldn't do that. And that was the so this guy, hang on, this big guy, he's a Contemptor Dreadnought. He is not the classic Dreadnought. The classic Dreadnought is a little smaller and a lot squarer than this guy. But the classic Dreadnought just disappeared. It just was like, oh yeah, we're not renewing him. Also, he's out of stock and has been out of stock online for several months. Sorry. Actually, no. Implying they'd said sorry would be far too generous to Games Workshop. But yeah, so it wasn't great for us as users. And it was particularly unfortunate for me, because I have representatives from a lot of different armies that I kind of juggle depending on what takes my fancy. And the old Dreadnought model was really nice as a model. Will you behave, Pen? And I'd sort of always kind of wanted one, but I busied myself getting weird things. Like obscure old models. I wonder if I can actually show you some of the things I've got. If I can pull them up on Google. Hang on. Okay, right. Here's one. And then, can I see the other one? Can I get a picture of what that looked like? There we go. Alright. Let's show you this. So yeah, so I busied myself getting stuff that was already out of print, but was like classic stuff that I really liked the look of. So this was the old Chaos Space Marine Dreadnought. And you can see this, so when I say the old Dreadnoughts were boxy, this is what I kind of mean. They were squarish in shape. But they had this really cool metal hand, and they ended up getting replaced with something. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. They ended up getting replaced with something that looks like this, which is, I suppose, a much more interesting model, maybe from a model making perspective, but doesn't appeal to me nearly as much. So I was busy getting that, and then also these things, which absolutely no one has heard of, which are Space Marine Dreadnoughts from a game. The game itself is significantly older than me, I think. I don't know exactly when it's from, but these are old miniatures that don't even look like Dreadnoughts at all, kind of thing. Pretty great stuff. So I'd sort of busy myself getting really weird, random stuff like that. And then the classic model of the boxy Dreadnought just vanished overnight from the shop and was like, well, it's not coming back. And they replace it with a new model that fulfills the same role, which is nice, because they haven't done that with everything. But the new model is about 50% bigger, maybe? Like, it's much larger. If I were to put this guy next to just a regular guy, you can see this guy's about twice as tall as this guy. The old Dreadnought model was probably halfway between the two, and then the new Dreadnought model that's replaced it is even bigger than this guy. So it is ostensibly a like-for-like replacement, but in practice it's very different. And there's other things with the range refresh, and Shasskor mentioned earlier, touched on that they're very protective of their intellectual property, and there was a ruling against them in court some number of years ago now. That was Games Workshop tried to sue a different company for making a model of something that was like a Games Workshop unit, and the court ruled against them, saying that this other company was perfectly okay to make and sell this model and wasn't infringing on Games Workshop's copyright, because Games Workshop themselves didn't make a model for that unit. The idea was that you would convert up one of your existing models and stick on like extra bits to it to make it. I can't remember what it was exactly. I think it was a Dark Eldar model. It was like a Dark Eldar named special character, and the idea, I suppose, was you'd take your regular leader guy and you'd change out his weapons, and then he would be the named special unit guy. But this other company was making a unit and making a model and calling it named special unit guy, and Games Workshop sued them and then lost because they didn't make a model for named special unit guy. And so ever since then, they've just been ruthlessly cutting out like every modeling option from their boxes and making it so that every new thing is like, you have one posing option. You can't customize pose, you can't customize loadout, or you can customize loadout between like two different options. And there's now very little flexibility in how you actually put together the models. Like these guys here, they're from a box set, like a starter set. So these guys didn't come with any options when I got them. But the normal unit of those guys, you would have had 5 different special weapons of which you could pick one for the unit, and 5 different heavy weapons for which you could pick one. And you'd have, for a unit of 10, they'd come with sort of 12 to 15 heads, so you could choose your head. And the legs would have been posable, and the arms would have been posable. The head was posable as well. And now you can't do that. Everything is monopose and everything is mono build, because Games Workshop is worried that if they give you choice, if they give you options, someone else is going to make a model for those options. And not even that they're worried that like they won't be able to sell models with those options. It's they're worried that somebody else will be able to make and sell models for those options as well. And that is not allowed for Games Workshop. And that really sucks, particularly as somebody who, like, one of the things I really enjoy with the hobby is kit bashing and customizing things and making stuff look unique. But even in general, for anyone who's making an army, you know, you used to be able to have 100 guys, and your 100 guys could all look different, because you'd give each of them like a different combination of head and arms and legs and body and pose. And between those, each model would be, they wouldn't be like, you know, sort of phenomenally unique to look at, but there would be no 2 models the same. But now you make an army of 100 guys, and it's actually just the same 3 guys, because they sold in box of 3 now instead of boxes of 10. It's actually the same 3 guys over and over and over again. sort of 30 odd times. To the point where everyone's army not only looks the same, like, from one unit to another, but also everyone's army looks the same as the next person's army. Shasskor asks, Dizzy, I plan to do an art stream later today. Would it be too forward if I ask if I could join you on Discord so we can chat together while doing our art? I think that would be very acceptable. I will have to actually fire up Discord to do that though, so y'all might have to give me a minute. Bear with. Right, I might make Discord, and I actually need to fiddle with my voice settings because I'm not going to be able to do push to talk while I'm arting. There we go. Voice activity. How loud am I? Not that loud is the answer. Yeah, no, this is new territory for me. So yeah, I don't know if you're going to be able to hear Shasskor, but yeah, I'm in a call, Shasskor. You can join whenever you wish, and we'll see if other people can hear you on stream when you do. And if not, I'll have to foodle about with OBS a little bit. Also, everyone go and give your love to Shasskor and follow them if you're not already. They do a lot of art.
Hello?
Hello.
Sorry, you called me in the middle of me doing vocal warm-ups because, unlike you, my voice doesn't sound naturally amazing.
I promise you my voice does not sound naturally amazing. I think your voice sounds fine, but if you need to go and do warm-ups, go do warm-ups.
I mean, I was at the tail end of it, so it's probably fine.
Uh-huh. But yeah, I'm sure you have probably lots more to say on the topic I've just been rambling about for the last 15 minutes.
Well, to be honest, I had to go in the middle of your rambling. Even though I had a lot to say as well, I had to go because I had to go and grab my brownies. I have them on a table next to me now.
Oh, lovely. Gorgeous. Also, thank you so much for subscribing. You gorgeous beanie.
Wait, what? An anonymous Twitch user has given me a subscription.
I didn't even look up at chat. I just looked up at the alert.
I have the option of clicking thank you, but it will be in Norwegian because Twitch just automatically defaults to the browser language.
I love that.
So there you go.
Ah.
There's how to write thank you for the gift subscription in Norwegian.
Amazing.
Although it's using a hyphen. We don't use hyphen in Norwegian. We just mash words together like German. And Kin Girl has started following my stream even though I haven't started streaming yet.
Good job, Kin Girl.
Hang on, I need to start my stream.
Oh.
Hang on. Start streaming. Let's put on some music as well. That is very dramatic music. Let's switch to another random track. That is also dramatic. Ah, that's a fun one.
Yeah, the summary was I was sort of talking about how since Games Workshop lost that one lawsuit a few years back, all their models have slowly become like mono pose, mono option.
Oh yeah, I hate that.
Actually, while I'm waiting for the pen to heat up again, I'm gonna go and wander off stream for a sec. I won't be able to hear you, Shasskor, but I'm gonna go see if I can grab a couple of models that I've been putting together that sort of just to demonstrate what the kind of modeling I like to do in the hobby is, because it's very, very different from I do actually need to take my headphones off. It's very different from what Games Workshop thinks I should be doing. Box is acquired. Put box on screen. People can now see box. People cannot see into box. That's fine. Well, you can sort of see into the box.
I'm writing a going live thing on Blue Sky, and I replied to yours, and I realized neither of us have actually put a link. Oh wait, you put a link I didn't. I'm dumb.
Oh dear. You're not dumb, I'm sure.
I am plenty dumb. But I'm dumb enough to know that I'm not smart, which is a smart thing to know.
I think I'm with you on that. But yeah, so I have...
Oh, by the way, if anyone is watching my stream, hello, this is This for the Mice. I should probably add them to the title.
Hi, Shasskor lovers. I should probably add you to the title.
This for the Mice. Oh no! Hang on, why is that playing on the loudspeakers? No! Wait! Ah!
I hope people on my screen can hear the music coming through your end.
Why is that playing on the loudspeakers and not my headphones? Hang on.
I'm just gonna mute Shasskor on the off chance that that's not stream safe music. Amazing, phenomenal.
This is embarrassing.
All right. Humans can hear you again now.
This is the first time people have tipped to me, and I set the tip up to play the ringtone I have on my phone to confuse me, but it played very loudly through my loudspeakers instead.
That doesn't sound like it would
Which
be confusing.
was worse.
But it does sound very funny.
Oh my god.
Right, so not this. This is not
apologies for being scatterbrained, but I'm seeing a red-chested robin out in the tree back doors.
Oh, that's so sweet. I occasionally
I've never seen one of those in the tree out back before.
we occasionally get robins out back. More what we get is just pigeons and then sparrows. Because there's a big bushy tree outside my window that houses like a huge colony of sparrows. But yeah, the thing I wanted to show people on my stream is this thing, this monstrosity.
Wait,
It's currently only partially assembled. It's going to look sort of like that when it's finished. But the base model looks nothing like that. I'll see if I can show you what it's supposed to look like.
Who tipped? Who caused that chaos anyhow? I'm sure it's one of your viewers because I don't have any.
Thank you, King Girl. I really just need to make this window capture just like a permanent part of my feature, don't I? But yeah, so this monstrosity here. This is a mashing together of two kits currently, right? One of them is this Gorkanaut, which is supposed to have like claw arms and like a normal orky kind of head sort of thing. And this kit, which is an old like scenery kit basically, which has this massive crane thing on that I just absolutely adored, and I was like, I have to orcify that. But it goes slightly further than that, because not only have I mashed that kit up with this, oops, hang on, I'm having difficulties adjusting OBS, but I've also mashed it up with this thing, and the plan ultimately is this kit can be assembled in two ways. You can make a thing called a Morkanaut or a thing called a Gorkanaut, and they're both huge stompy walkers. But I've mashed up with a second kit, which is a Chaos kit, and I've stuck sort of arm pieces on, and I'm going to stuck big old legs on as well, and a big orky head. And that I'm going to make into the other option, so I don't remember off the top of my head which one's the Gorkanaut, which one's the Morkanaut, but one will be one, and one will be the other. And this kit that I'm mashing up here is a Forge Feed kit, which originally looks absolutely nothing like this. It looks like this. So my like preferred way to do Warhammer hobby is to just mess around, buy lots of things together, kit bash, create, do interesting, exciting things. And Games Workshop has decided recently that that is illegal. Pop that back on. Put this out of the way. You can even see I've done
I
stuff
have like things to contribute to the
45
conversation, but I'm also distracted trying to work out why that played through the loudspeakers.
Well, do share because I am super interested to hear.
As I'm said, I'm distracted trying to sort out why that played through the loudspeakers of all things. Also, it didn't even play on the Streamlabs audio channel. I have no idea why that happened. I am completely dumbfounded.
Give it some time.
I guess I'll just leave it be and let someone just completely panic me again in the future if they so feel like donating to the stream.
I mean, as incentives go, it's not the worst one in the world.
I mean, the intent was to dumbfound me, but it's not that way. Not by blasting through my speakers.
This is so not hot that I can even touch this. Like, this bit of metal normally gets really hot, but this is fine for me to touch. That's how not working this pyrograph thing is today. So do you 40k, Shasskor? I assume you must.
I do 40k. I was in fact at a 40k Kill Team campaign event yesterday, though the arranger hasn't actually had time to write all the narrative rules for the campaign yet, so we're just kind of moseying on without the proper rules.
That's fun though.
But like, I'm not even using official Games Workshop models for it anymore. I've just like gotten tired of their BS.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you at all.
But also like, my favorite parts of the hobbies are like building terrain and kit bashing, and Games Workshop are making the kit bashing part very hard, and the terrain part very expensive.
Yeah, I should actually also say that for people sort of listening at home, when I say the kits are like mono pose, mono build, whereas before you'd have a part that was like a body and then a part that was an arm. So you could sort of, even if you weren't supposed to, you could sort of mix and match an arm, and it would be relatively easy. Nowadays, the part will be like one leg and a third of a body, and then another part will be one leg, half a body, and one arm, and a weapon, and the hand of the other arm. And then there'll be another part that's like the remaining sixth of a body, and the head, and the arm. And so
Yeah,
you
I
can't just take them apart in a sensible way anymore.
I mean, God willing, I still do.
I still try,
Like,
but it's
I've
a lot
seen
of
one
craft.
kit where like a part of the kilt between the legs is like attached to a bit of hair somehow. It's completely nonsensical.
Kingo says, at that point, why not just make it a single piece? The idea is that with the having it in separate parts allows you to get like detail behind other detail because of the way the kits are formed. You know, they're in like a mold that's in two halves, right? So you have a bit that fills up from the bottom and the bit that fills up from the top, and you press them together to make one completed piece. And you couldn't make a whole humanoid body like that.
Yeah, like, I mean, credit where credit's due, the modern models look like better than ever, but like, there's no fun anymore.
They do
Like,
look better.
I don't have fun with the models, I don't have fun with the rules,
Yeah.
I just... But like, no one wants to play or use anything else, so I'm just using third-party... Well, not even third-party proxies, they're like making their own game, but the models happen to coincide with Chaos, so I'm using those for Kill Team, and people are... I mean, I'm not playing at the Games Workshop Hobby Store, so I'm allowed to, and even encouraged.
Yeah. I mean...
But like, I see like new people coming to try, and I'm just like, are you completely sure you want to do this?
Every not Warhammer sci-fi war game kind of revolves around Warhammer a little bit anyway, just because it's a great way to generate sort of like random off sales. You know, there's a reason why lots of other fantasy games have space orcs. Not fantasy, sci-fi games have space orcs. And it's because you can sell those to 40k orc players. You know, lots of them have armored human soldier because you can sell that to somebody who wants like a different looking 40k.
Gosh, imagine fantasy space orcs though, like Dungeons and Dragons Illithids, but orcs.
I mean, orcs are like proper cosmic horror when you think about them too hard.
Yeah. But yeah, I have a glass cabinet like behind me where like I have some terrain with verticality that I use for internal shelves within the shelves to put models on.
That's quite cool as a concept. I like that.
Yeah. Now we're going to use it for an actual game though, and it is designed to be fun game design as well. But like, I mean, it will break if I try to bring it all the way out to Oslo, and nobody wants to come here to play a game, so... I envy those who live with people who wants to play the game.
Kingo says, Kingo has opinions on science fantasy, which she cannot speak aloud, apparently. That sounds ominous.
I mean, have you seen that Tumblr chart of like aesthetically sci-fi but narratively fantasy and narratively fantasy but but like categorically sci-fi?
Yes, I have. I don't know that I agree strongly with Discworld's placement on the version of that graph that I've seen, but yes, I have seen it.
Space NBA Artemis is apparently curious.
Well, I'm not going to force Kingal to share if she does not wish to share, particularly if she is fleeing for her life from persecution. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this thing finished today, because this just isn't... It's just not cooperating, this poor little thing. I might show off other things I happen to have to hand on the miniatures side, because I have stuff like this. Actually, I should also open up Shasskor's stream so I can see what Shasskor's doing.
I just realized I forgot to switch my PNG tuber to the drawing mode. There we go. A PNG tuber drawing themselves, showing a drawing. It is all very meta.
Kingo says it's more highly specific, opinionated stuff that might stem from lack of exposure. Okay, well, fair. But yeah, just because I happen to have it to hand in the same box. This is a weird little tank. And you can see this is something that's sort of in the halfway stage of being painted between the fully painted green scheme that's like light and dark, almost camo-y, and then these guys here which are just primed and haven't got anything on. So this has had, you can see at the front, this is where you've got the prime green, and then this has had an undercoat, or I say undercoat, this had a base coat then of the actual proper green I want the colour to be on top. And then I've started splodging on one of the medium green tone shades that will then go underneath the darkest green tone that's on the finished models. But the problem is,
like camo patterns.
It is almost camo patterny. It wasn't designed to be camo patterny originally. I was aiming for more sort of like a speckledy look, but I accidentally ended up at camo and thought, actually, I quite like that, so I've kept it. Part of the problem, though, is that these models were made 5+ years ago. This model was painted at least 2 years ago. I'm not sure I can actually remember exactly how I did this. Like, it's basically just stippling. But I've not done stippling in so long. It's quite a technique-heavy sort of a thing to do. Oh, and then this one's actually an intermediary, because this is not the primer green, this is just the light undercoat green, but it hasn't had the splodging on it yet. And this will sit on top here, and B, this is like a little. This is like a communications tank thing. Like it's like your commander sort of sits in here and broadcasts out to the battlefield and gathers intelligence and stuff.
The command rhino.
Yes. Kingo says, I'm disappointed in how many franchises settle on. We have space orcs or space elves that are aliens that are just very reminiscent of orcs and elves. How Vulcans are space elves, long lived, emotionally distant 20 years. Franchises that take fancy out of the medieval era tend to stop in the modern day. Well, what I want is a fantasy future. So what does a fantasy future look like that isn't space fantasy to you, Kingo? I'm curious.
I may actually know what that looks like because it's the D&D setting I've been working on.
Ooh.
Probably never gonna see the light of day because I spent too much time working on it to actually finish it.
You want to see an orc, elf, or dwarf space race? Okay, but that's different from space orcs.
I mean, Warhammer already have all of those.
I want to see what Middle-earth version of the Star Trek future. So you mean like a setting that has gone to the space age from a fantasy setting? Is that what you mean? They're all from Earth. Okay, I see. I don't know. I suppose like a lot of that kind of space race. I see. I think a lot of sci-fi kind of like when you get to like multi-planetary sci-fi, most of them tend to kind of assume that you have a planetary government and that like a species can't meaningfully like make it to space unless they are unified in some way, or a planet can't make it to space unless they're unified in some way. There is no point me touching this to wood. I'm not going to, but I'm moderately confident I could touch this to my skin and it would not burn me right now. I wish I knew which bit was having problems. Well, I tell you what I will do, because the plan was that I would build this up, and you would slowly sort of start thinking, hey, hang on, what's that Dizzy is writing? But if you look on this says on it, I've drawn it out in pencil, this says Kingle on it. And that is for a very good reason. And that very good reason is because Kingle is an extremely generous human. And I have a throne, which you can find by typing !throne in the chat if you so wish. And Kingle was very kind and was the first human to get me a thing off of my throne. And we are going to open it now.
Ooh.
And you see, this also has a little bit of Hanatoni wrapper on it to protect me from the internet. So let's pull her open. I'm gonna peer into this first before everyone else does, in case there's like my name or address and something inside. I don't think there is.
What? Who in your community would do that? I mean, Dizzy is just not the kind of person to encourage that kind of behavior.
It feels a lot bigger, like once it's out of the packet. This is a
Just because
Umbreon
you've
plushie.
unzipped the file.
Amazing.
God, Discord's encryption just completely ate up that laughter.
Oh dear.
I just heard buzz 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 buzz.
Oh dear. But yeah, this is a little Umbreon. This is gonna be Kingle the Umbreon as soon as I can finish the name tag. And
Ooh.
what would Kingle be? What kind of Kingle would be complete? If not for a little adornment. So we're gonna put this on her. not if I can't get the buckle open? And I just sent something absolutely flying, that's fine. I got her a collar? I did, King Girl. I was like, oh, this will look really cute with a little accessory on it. And you know what? She does. And if I go, oops, just kick my camera a bit, for one thing. If I go pick up the thing I sent flying. If I thread this on, because I took it off, partly to maintain the surprise, and partly because it would have been a nightmare to try and work on this thing while it wasn't staying flat. I can't get the ring round. Huh. There we go. We're getting King Girl her very own little name tag. Like that. I think that's dead sweet. And it's got my address on the back, so if it ever gets lost, people know who she belongs to. But yeah, that was a wonderfully generous thing that King Girl did. And you all should go and say, King Girl, thank you for doing that on Dizzy's behalf, but also because the evolution of the concept for the stream was I will do a normal stream and then fire up my camera to show you this cute Umbreon plushie, which then became I should make a collar and name tag for the Umbreon plushie, which then became this whole stream of pyrography.
Oh no, the creative rabbit hole.
Yep. So the whole reason why the stream has been how it is because of cute little Umbreon. So to answer someone's earlier question, asking, is soft Eevee plushie, evolution plushie, a thing you can do on stream? The answer is
oh,
yes.
That was me.
There we go. I should also say hi to humans who are showing up in your chat. So hi, Floppy Disk Enigma.
Oh, that's a bot.
Oh, rip. Never mind.
I'm not. You're good at like continuously talking without input. I'm not, so I have a bot to provide random conversation prompts.
Honestly, because they said, "How's the weather?" I'm like, oh, well, that's a normal human. That's a very normal human thing to ask. And they didn't read the rest of the message, which is, I'm running out of chatting prompts.
Oh my gosh, you were completely fooled.
I was so fooled.
But there's like a set of 3 different like categories of things that you can say, and the next one would be like something approaching, and it's like a D&D description, and it will ask you to roll a d20 to do X. So look forward to that.
Artemis says it passed the Turing test. It did pass the Turing test.
It passed the Turing test. To be fair, I wrote it. So I passed the Turing test belatedly.
Yeah, well,
I guess.
Yeah. Kingo is smiling and kicking your feet. I am so glad. I was like, I don't know if this is going to be a bit much, like making a King Girl name tag on stream and then putting a collar on something and calling it King Girl. I'm glad you're pleased. I am so unbelievably pleased with this. This is wonderful. You can see I haven't been able to take my hands off it since it got out of the packet.
I mean, arguably, King Girl calling you a hot tool earlier gives you some licensing to do whatever you want.
I'm glancing over at Shasskor stream. So are you making a U that's got like a little book and you're opening it?
It's an art block. Not an art block, that's the direct translation from Norwegian. Sketchbook. Basically, I fall into the creative rabbit hole as well. I was supposed to do like a video in like August, and then I got burnt out, and then I eventually got like everything else finished for it. But I was like, hey, wouldn't it be fun to start with like this tiny animation? And then I got busy doing this instead. And then I got like a commission and got busy doing that instead. But yeah, just like lifting it up and showing off a drawing, like, I'm drawing my comfort character instead of doing the work I need to do. Ignore the fact that my comfort character is my D&D character.
That's what comfort characters are for, right? Being done instead of the things you're supposed to be doing. Auntie said the colour is making them feel things. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Oh dear.
Oh, the color, not the color.
Yes, no, sorry. That
the color
is difficult to distinguish with my accent.
Should I pronounce it with a Norwegian accent? Would that make you happy?
Yes, actually it would, greatly.
Oh gosh, I have such a hard time pronouncing English with Norwegian accent. It just sounds so broken to me. And my brain just automatically switches language to whatever language I last hear, and that just completely doesn't sort into a category. I know. Am I saying color or color?
I think you're saying collar, as in the kind that goes around your neck.
Am I pronouncing C's like K or S? We hardly ever use C's in Norwegian, despite having a lot of C to go around. Because we formalized our language in like the 1800s. And like kept at it since.
I suppose not everyone can have just a horrible abomination of a language. Someone's gonna have a proper language somewhere.
I suppose it would be kular.
Kular, okay.
Kular.
Ooh.
Which frankly sounds Swedish.
See, I definitely don't have like enough of a distinction in my head between sounds Swedish and sounds Norwegian. Like, they're so, because they're so adjacent to each other, at least from my perspective. Like, something that sounds Swedish does also sound Norwegian, and vice versa to me.
I mean, to be fair, like, it has had a huge influence on our language, and like, until recently, a lot of Norwegian people could, like, I mean, this isn't true for the newer generations that grew up with more English than Swedish, but like, a lot of Norwegians, at the very least, used to be able to, like, understand Swedish, and I'm one of them, because whenever I visit my grandma, I would watch, like, what's it called, CRT? No. VHS videos of, like, an old Swedish show, children's show. So I got my Swedish practice in with that.
Wow. Alright, I'm pretty sure this pyrograph is actually, like, dead now, which is not good. It's been sat in the shed for several years, I think. So maybe it's not super surprising that it's dead. But I'm gonna switch over to maybe getting out my Warhammer paints. Ow! 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 Ow!
Hopefully, don't. What's happening? Are you
I picked up the pyrograph and it wobbled and it caught me with the hot bit. So
that is very rude.
When I said earlier, I'm fairly sure this isn't hot enough to burn me, I was wrong, but I haven't done myself any lasting damage. I just glanced it, so I didn't pick it up properly.
I was about to say, is that better than burning yourself on a brownie? And I think it's not.
I'm going to guess it's not. Let me put up a transition screen so I can just...
I have this plate full of brownies next to me, and I've barely taken one bite out of it.
I've had a drink next to me for a while, and I haven't had any of it because I'm such a fool. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Gosh, animation, drawing in motion. Why you have to be so difficult? Drawing is hard enough without having to draw like a bunch of near identical images right after each other. I have never tried animation for exactly that reason. I can't draw consistently at all, so I would never ever be able to like draw something and then draw a slightly different version of it.
I mean, this is like my first like real like colored animation project. If you look apart from the one time I worked on coloring for a like feature-length movie that released in cinemas, ignore that one because I didn't actually do any of the line work. I was just using the bucket tool on frame after frame after frame.
Fair. I suppose it probably also helps actually that you have like a digital version of it, because I do all my art. Actually, I've got a camera. I can show people how all of my emotes and all of my art gets done, because it is not high tech. I promise you that. Oh yeah, there's me. Also, something I didn't realize you could see.
I have made flip books in the past, I suppose.
The old bits of nail varnish from when I was putting it on this morning. But yeah, all of my art is just done on paper. Like this is the artwork. This is the line art for the rare emote. It's just done on paper and done in Sharpie and scanned in. That's it. I do not have the technical know-how to do. These are the old Pokemon I did when I was playing Pokemon Y. But yeah, I don't have the technical know-how to do stuff on. I don't even know what program you're doing stuff on, to be honest, Shasskor.
I'm using Clip Studio Paint, but not the version of it that allows you to use more than 24 frames of animation.
I see.
So I'm a bit limited. I mean, I can export the individual images and then combine them in another software.
Yeah, if I wanted to do what you were doing, I would be using tracing paper. And to be fair, I did consider doing that before because I said I want to have a little like stabby type emote that will be basically this for Raw but with an Assassin's Creed costume on. I was seriously considering just tracing over the original disc for Raw as part of the making process for that. Right, hang on. Transition. Where are you?
If only you knew someone who could animate who had open commissions. You don't actually have to do that. Like I'm not gonna be fishing for more work. I still have like a lot of work to do on like one commission.
That's
and
it.
There's other like moral reasons of just like I'm not gonna invade your stream and be like, hey, commission me.
I mean, if nothing else, I don't have the money to commission people, which is one of the reasons why all of my emotes and stuff get drawn by me, is because I don't have the cash flow to not do that.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't have money either, which is why I'm doing everything myself. And that's basically how I learned how to do art, because no one else would do it for me.
I can't find... I was just thinking, Kingo asked, should I try to find a yellow collar and bring it to ShakaCon? I realised I can't find a good spot to put Kingo the Umbreon, where she's like in frame, but out of the way. Because of how my camera is set up. It's like she was sitting up off to the right, where I can see her. She's ugly. She's sat right next to my second monitor. But y'all can't see her on stream.
I just realized I was so busy watching your stream, I forgot to look at my own chat. Floppy disk Enigma says something approaches. It's at Anthony Cyril Ulspin. Quick, make an attack roll to kill it with Brawl D20. I have no idea who that is. Apparently someone is lurking.
Oh. We stand lurkers.
And I've just exposed them. Sorry.
Poor lurker. I'm having real difficulty getting this bit of paper in the right place. Oh! I nearly just tipped my entire...
Well, I rolled a nat 20, so we have no lurkers anymore.
Wow.
Sorry.
Rip.
So sorry to do this to you. Lurkers are welcome as well.
Lurkers are welcome as long as they don't mind being murked. Right, we've got here.
I am wondering why the color isn't applying when I'm using an eraser.
This is the paint I'm after, Nurgle Green.
Nurgle Green?
See if it actually is any good. If I can't open it, that's not a good sign.
Oh wait, I used the wrong color.
needs to be mixed, but it is still liquid in there, which is good. Because old Games Workshop paints do have a nasty tendency to dry out. But yeah, the color scheme for this...
The new ones do as well.
I meant once you've had them for a while. The color scheme for the miniatures is undercoat Nurgling green, stipple on this Elysian green, and then stipple over this Castellan green. I don't know if you can actually read that because it's super dark. But it's Castellan green is what it is. Is it supposed to be used as a layer? No, it's a base paint. Am I using it as a layer anyway? Yes. No one can or will stop me.
You have an artistic license.
But
and so do I. It's in my wallet.
The ultimate goal is that all of my Space Marines and Chaos Marines will have the same sort of like painting structure, basically. So for the Chaos Marines, because the Chaos Marines are basically in my homebrew lore, the Chaos Marines are like a spin-off of my regular Marines chapter. So they are gonna have I have a glowy green somewhere, there we go. They are gonna have Moot Green as their base light coat, with Warpstone Glow as a medium green, and then as their dark green, they will have Caliban green instead of this Castellan green. So there'll be a much more sort of blue green, but maybe slightly more kind of glowy green as well with this to give it a bit of a kick. But that's for once I've figured out how to actually do the thing I'm trying to do on the models I'm trying to do it on. Never mind grabbing new models. Rushes.
What is your homebrew lore?
Oh gosh, okay. Well,
Opening Pandora's box.
yeah, well,
Don't you dare ask me that as well.
It's always the
We
thing
will be here all day.
with 40k's you. Everyone who thinks about their lore has so much lore because they've thought about it so much. This was the old brush that I was using for stippling. You can see it's like natty and ratty. It's so old that all of the varnish and paints come off the actual handle and stuff. I have this new brush, which is like a newer brush. I think this is a dry brush, which you're supposed to use for stippling. But I've never tried using it for this. I don't know, because stippling really knackers a brush. I might just want to kind of keep using the knackered brush. Or I've got this, which is super soft, but a bit big.
I mean, for stippling, I suppose you want like the kind of brush that has like all the hairs are the same length and they're like generally in the same area. Probably not that long hairs.
This one was actually cut. I cut the bristles on this because this was an old brush that was ratty anyway, so I cut the bristles all to the same length to use it for stippling. The same with this one. I don't know if you can see the bristles on that. They're so tiny and short. This I actually cut them
very
too short.
And they're a bit splayed.
They are. They're very splayed. Part of the stippling problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for this I'm gonna want standard or possibly a detail. I think we'll start with a detail, probably. But yeah, the thing about asking people their homebrew lore is that people like me come up with far too much of it. Like, I could probably actually show people, because I have an Excel spreadsheet, because I do lots of things in Excel that aren't supposed to be done in Excel. But I have an Excel spreadsheet for... Let me see if I can put it on the screen again. So this is the disposition of my Homebrew Space Marine chapter. Like... like... First company, Deathwing. Here's their color scheme. Here's their trim color. Here's the name of their chapter master, the name of their lieutenants, the name of their chaplain. Because it's the first company, they also have names for the individual squads. For the others, I have like just distributions of like what kind of squad is what. But they all have. Every company has a color and a trim. and a named company master who is generally named for one of the 9 muses. They're all sort of loosely like Greek themed in name, and the chapter name is Angels of Lethe. And it's yeah. Don't ask too much. But I did it like this because I'll open up the other one. It's because their counterpart Chaos Space Marine chapter, I wanted them to be proper counterparts, so I needed to make sure that I had colors for every company in like Trim and every one of the special areas like the Apothecarian and the Reclusiam and stuff. I wanted to make sure that I had non-overlapping colors for all of those things. Hence the big spreadsheet. And the Chaos Marine equivalent is organized like slightly differently, but fundamentally still has 9 companies effectively of Marines because they come from a Space Marine chapter. Eagle says Date Night concept. We play Warhammer and an info dump about our homebrew lore to each other. I would go to that as a date.
I mean, I've never been on a date, at least not in real life. That would be the dream date.
I would recommend it. And yet, like some of these, I even have like the planned out conversions for what they're going to be. Like the second company master for the Chaos version, the one that's the equivalent of the Raven Wing. The plan is that he is going to be a conversion mashup of bits of a Mortarion model, which he'll be accounts as Mortarion, with a Raven Wing land speed of Vengeance, and probably bits from one or more Tyrannid kits as well to provide like loose wiggly tails and stuff. And possibly I'm thinking a Morlock kit specifically for a big long tail and also for a big mouth that will go underneath the front of the land speeder's fuselage. I don't have any of the models to make that, and this was planned out. I dread to think when this document was created. Actually, I can probably find out. Hang on a sec. Only if I can find where it's kept. Right, the last time this document was modified. No, that was really recent. Hang on. So when was this document created? This document was created in 2019. So, it's been 5 years since I made this document. And
Gosh,
I was planning the conversion then. Yeah, I know, right? I was planning this conversion then that I've still not even come close to getting around to. So people really do get far too into this, or at least people like me do. Gosh. Hang on. Let's get rid of that. I'm gonna need to fill up on water, and also I'm going to need to figure out where my little plate, what I use as a palette, has gone to. So I need to do a little cheeky BRB. Once again, I know you've seen this screen a lot on this stream, for which I apologize, but I will be right back.
I guess I'm responsible for entertainment now. Hello!
We believe in you.
Welcome to the Shasskor show, where I am socially inept. Shoot, I already ran out of things to say. Darn it! Quick, random conversation prompt. Test prompt 2. Watched any shows recently? I have not. Darn it, why did you go with that one? I mean, have anyone in chat watched any shows recently? Gosh, I'm bad at this. There really should be a line there. I need to fix that line. No? Nobody watching shows? Well, we're all in the same boat then. So what do you all think of... This is wood art. Wood burning today. Are you back yet? I'm not very good at this. No? Okay, just random microphone noises for no reason then. Okay.
Sorry, hi, that was me just grabbing
Oh,
my headset
hello.
to put it on. Hello, I'm
Okay,
back.
thank you. Thank goodness you're back. I was staggering.
I'm sure you were doing fine.
I like forcefully made the bot provide a text prompt, and I was like, I have no answer for this prompt.
Oh, sweetie. Yeah, I have a painting setup. It's not a tremendously advanced painting setup. I have an old China thingy as a palette. This is nice. This is a stand to try and stop the paints from falling over. Everybody who has ever painted any significant amount of Warhammer has knocked over specifically one of these. This is Null Oil. This is a wash, and they come in big pots.
Classic non-oil spoil.
Yeah. They
Fail,
exist
not spoil.
primarily to be spilled. I'm pretty sure. Absolutely everyone who's worked for a long time has a story of spilling it. But yeah, so this partly helps against that. We got our little tub of water, and we're gonna. I've only got like 40 minutes left of my normal stream time. We might go on a bit depending on how I'm feeling. But yeah, and you will not see me being a particularly like advanced proficient painter. I will not do advanced painting skills. I will not even remember to have brought a tissue to help.
I will judge you on how much you thin your paints, despite me not knowing what thinning paints meant for decades. Decades. I say as if I have lived for more than 2 of them.
I have thinned my paints during the painting of probably... In fact, it might only be these 2 models and this tank. These might be the only things I ever thinned my paints to paint. And even then, I'm not certain.
Like, a lot of my models are really badly painted because people would just scream at me, for goodness sake, thin your paints. And I didn't know what that meant. I thought they meant, like, apply it in very thin layers, not water it down.
Yeah. I
I was told this by people who didn't even have English as their native language.
I don't have a Lamia Medium, which is Games Workshop's like... It is pigmentless paint, effectively. It's what you're supposed to use, in air quotes, for
I'm not using that.
thinning paints. I will be thinning with water, which is the main reason why I have water. If and when thinning gets done at all. That looks pretty nicely mixed, I would say. I'm quite happy with that. The other thing about these pots is that they are kind of terribly designed for actually staying open. Which makes them extremely inconvenient to use.
They're just terrible in general. There's a reason why basically all other paint producers use like drop bottles.
So the idea is you get paint on brush, and then you touch brush to surface of water to load water onto brush with paint. Done it right, you should have thinner paint going on your model.
And how much you need to thin it depends heavily on the specific paint.
And different paints are different levels of like goodness. Like all of the greens I'm using here today, I say that like I'm going to get more than just this one base layer, but all of the greens are fairly okay. Like they have good coverage even when thinned a bit. But the Games Workshop yellows, you need 3 thick layers just to get like an even covering of yellow on a model.
goodness forbid you try to do a pink army scheme.
Yeah, I haven't tried to do a pink army scheme. I am conceptually dreading it slightly.
I have. I gave up after like 2 units of like trans Space Marines and Battle Sisters.
I cannot for the life of me see where the surface of this water is.
I mean, that's good, right? It means it's clean.
Well, yes, but it's very awkward when you have to dip something into water, but only very slightly.
You will see a slight ripple when the tip of the brush touches the water. That is literally how I notice.
Out of focus.
I do also have like an old mug that I once made that has a pattern on the bottom, which helps.
I'm being quite sloppy with this. Partly because I can afford to be, because I know that like this. Yeah, this is the first layer on.
Yeah.
Anything else that goes on goes over this regardless. So I'm using a bigger brush, and being less sloppy, being more sloppy even. I don't think this is in focus at all for people on camera, so I don't think I'm going to bother keep holding it up for that.
Yeah, I've heard that like professional, like people who like paint for YouTube and stuff have like learned to paint with a camera between themselves and the model, which sounds really obnoxious.
It does, but I mean, if it makes good content and they can do it, good for them.
Yeah.
A little bit too much paint on the brush there, so I had to start quickly on another area. But yeah, we will ostensibly be applying the Duncan Jones too thin coats philosophy to this painting. So if it doesn't look, if it looks like it's sort of a little bit thin right now, that's mostly okay. Because there will be more paint going on later.
Ooh, I only have 1 frame left to do.
Oh, good job.
Because this frame is very close to like the base drawing, I don't have to do as much.
Yay!
Doing a lot of work to make sure I have little work. That's how you do art sometimes. Not necessarily always. Sometimes the art is putting a lot of effort into little payout.
Oh gosh.
Like building a chair out of paper mache.
So one of the things that I briefly showed off, maybe I shouldn't have, maybe it's spoilers, was artwork for upcoming, possibly streamed D&D things, which you are aware of, but the rest of my chat, for the most
I'm
part,
aware?
is not.
Gosh,
Yes.
I didn't realize I was sapient.
But
I'm very sapient,
one of
perhaps
the
too
models I showed off, the only like plan for that creature in the session is that it will be stabbed in a single like sentence as your introduction to an area. You'll come to an area, you will see that creature being stabbed. That is its only appearance. There aren't any others of it that would use that artwork. It's not an enemy to be fought. It doesn't have any lines. You see it, you arrive as it's dying. And I made a full body artwork for that creature, because I am a bit too much and also not very bright with how I use my time.
I mean, take solace in the fact that my character will be very emotionally invested in this one person. Assuming it's a person.
It's a person-ish.
That may be close enough.
It probably could have had lines if I'd chosen to give it some. And no one
Just a
would have
red shirt that didn't even get any lines.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, poor little fella. Ignore me completely just eyeballing where I put the shadows.
I mean, there's
no rhyme or reason to this.
There is no rhyme or reason to how I put shadows on things. So, you're in good company here.
If the shadows are inconsistent, it's because that wasn't part of the coloring stage for me when I worked on that feature film.
Haha.
There was already like a line denotating where the shadows would be separated from the otherwise normal color. Which, frankly, is probably what I should have been doing in the first place.
I think, really, it's...
But I'm not.
You know, so long as there are shadows, that's probably the main thing.
I'm being naughty with my animation method. And I blame the fact that I went to animation school and they taught me game design. Which, frankly, I didn't mind that much, because I do a lot of Dungeons & Dragons and it was actually very helpful.
I would love to do like a proper game design course. I know Shaka is studying game design. I'd love to learn, because I do design stuff. I can't help but sort of design stuff. I make my own D&D classes. I make my own Warhammer rules. I recently played an old game from my childhood called Pokemon Master Trainer. It's a board game from like 2000 and something. And I played it again recently, a weekend or two ago, and I was like, I love this. It's great. I'd like a little bit more mechanical complexity because it's designed for children and I'm no longer a children. And immediately my brain was like, well, write rules for it then. That's just how I engage with the things I love.
Yeah.
And occasionally, when it's stuff like Warhammer, I also maybe hubristically think I could probably write better rules for this than the people who've been paid to write rules for this. But most of the time, I do not think that.
I mean, they don't make it difficult, do they?
No. So hopefully people who are watching...
Imagine if the two of us did like a narrative Warhammer campaign. We would write so many custom rules.
The thing is, I could never do that because I love building Warhammer. I love writing Warhammer rules. I love making Warhammer lore. The reason why I'm painting Warhammer on stream right now is because I just can't cope with painting Warhammer. This is why I have exactly 2 models painted in this color scheme, is because I get a finished build and I'm like, oh yeah, I've got this model, I've finished building it, and I sit down to paint and I paint for sort of 10 minutes and I'm like internally screaming like, no more, this is it, I've painted enough, please let me go. I have to chain myself to stream to force myself to paint, because otherwise it would just not be done. And because of that, stream will probably never see me. I don't know if you can see that well. You probably can't. This bit of model there is really bad. I don't know why. But stream will probably never see me making any models on stream, just because I don't need encouragement to do model making. I need encouragement to do model painting. Sorry, carry on.
your rant included the fact that they've started doing rules for various games where you get victory points for having models painted to quote-unquote battle-ready standard.
It hasn't, but maybe it should have, because that is another... I mean, I can understand the encouragement to people to paint your models, but rewarding people with victory points for having painted models is I really do not
Like,
think that was the right.
and it really like opens the door for some people to be like, yeah, you've painted your models, but they're not really battle ready, are they?
Well, I like that they define battle ready in a way that is mostly quite generous. They're like, it just needs to have like 2 colors and a base. But like, I have based exactly like 1 miniature ever. I think basing is probably not a requirement that they needed to add. I think most people don't base their models, and I think most models probably look better without basing, to be honest. Like, I like my guys just being on a black circle, because I can pretend the black circle isn't there. You know, it's, like the, I don't know if this is real, or if it's just like one of those factoids, but the idea that ninjas wear black because ye olde Japanese stagehands wore black to, like, so that everyone watching knew that you can't see the people wearing black. They're not supposed to be seen. They're not part of the production.
Yeah.
And like that's how I feel about the black base. Is like, well, it's a thing that is black, not because it exists and is black, but because the black is a signifier that it doesn't really exist. Technically, so that this guy, he's got, you can't see because the camera's really not in focus. He's got a chest eagle, because the Imperium of Man for which this guy works is a famously horrendous authoritarian regime. It draws its influences from a number of real-world horrendous authoritarian regimes. But he's got a chest eagle, and theoretically there should be green around the edges of the chest eagle, but on this miniature I don't think you can see that at all. So I'm just not going to put green there. Because if I can't see it now, the place where the green is supposed to go, you damn well won't be able to see it on the finished model once there's glowy, glittery blue there. Eagle says, nowadays we'd have the impression that we just want neon green. I guess, maybe. You could probably do like a really good sort of Orwellian kind of state that controls all its media and edits people out by having that they have their agents and assassins wear green, so that whenever anyone takes a photo of them, they just green screen the person out. I think that would be a fun concept. If anyone wants to explore that, you can have that.
That's a fun concept, yeah. I mean, I feel like they would be very noticeable to actual people.
Mm-hmm. But like, to the average civilian, unless you're the one being assassinated, you know, having an obvious uniform isn't necessarily exactly a bad thing, because, you know, people see it, they know that they know who and what you are, and they know to keep out of your way. You know, same as like, you see an armed policeman coming down. They've got a big uniform. They're not subtle, but you kind of get out of their way because they've got a gun and they're willing to use it.
Am I going insane?
I don't know.
I copied like one picture to be on the art tablet in 2 different frames, and I swear that in one frame the pink is brighter than the other.
Show me the 2 frames.
Hang on, I'm comparing the color values now.
They look the same to my eye, looking on your stream.
They're identical. So I guess some kind of optical illusion.
Kingo makes a good point. With smart glasses and augmented reality, you could get away with it IRL if you just edited out all the people wearing green screen. That's a terrifying thought, but you're not wrong. Kingo says, does this armored police officer look like Carl Urban or Sylvester Stallone? I need to know how far out of their way I would be. I couldn't actually tell you what Carl Urban looks like, I'm afraid. I only think I know which one Sylvester Stallone is. Oh, I tell you what I need. I need to get out of my drawer, my handy dandy drawer, somewhere in here. I have a Toblerone thing. It's got my name on it. It's like a personalized thing, so you're not allowed to see that side. But I've got tweezers for holding errant Warhammer miniatures that you wish to paint, but do not wish to get paint on yourself.
I have finished the animation.
Yay! Kingo says he looks like the main character from The Boys. Oh god, okay. At least I know who he is now. It's just a shame I had to remember that The Boys was a thing that exists.
My bot just prompted me, what is the last thing you cooked? Brownies, and I'm gonna eat them now because I finished drawing.
I would like
If you're feeling bad that you don't have brownies, they got out a bit dry, so don't worry.
I was about to say I would like to make it known that I'm jealous of you for having brownies. Kingo says, also McCoy in the Star Trek reboot. Oh god, is that the same person? I'd never even realised. Oh, they are, aren't they? Oh, I'd never even thought. That is, I've put too much paint on this brush. Dab some off on the thing, that's what it's for.
Time to export this animation. Save as. Nobody on my stream will get to see this because the stream only captures the actual drawing window, not the folders that I'm sorting all the files into.
I'm sure people don't necessarily need to see your file system because either you've got a horrendous file sorting system and you'll feel embarrassed about showing it to people, or you'll have a lovely file sorting system, and everyone at home who has a horrendous file sorting system will think, oh god, I wish my file sorting system was as clean as that.
I mean, personally, I think I have a very good sorting system.
There we go then. It'll be the second one.
I just called a folder Art Turn, and then I like looked at it after looking at the sidebar of all the nice folders I have, and I read it as Art Tum.
Right. Sure.
Just drawing a little tum-tum with art.
You're drawing with your thumb, that's what the brownies are for.
I think the brownies are drawing the tum.
Kingo says he's also Hella's sidekick in Thor 3. Oh, that guy. God, he looks very different as Bones McCoy than he does as Behold My Stuff guy. Which is what that character is called officially, just in case anyone didn't know. I definitely didn't just make that up because I couldn't remember what his actual name was. Oh, this guy's got like a slightly fancy backpack. He's got like bits and stuff in there that are gonna not want to be green, but are going to be an absolute nightmare to paint.
Don't all of them have like bits in there? Or do those models not have the finality for
Maybe they do. Maybe I've just never paid attention. I haven't painted that many Space Marines in my life still.
I've probably painted too many.
Because I painted
my brother abandoned a bunch of them and left them to me, so I could probably paint more.
I painted the ones I'm doing now. I'm painting these. I've painted the ones I've already shown people on stream already. And I've painted a squad of Howling Griffin scouts. This was before I had a homebrew chapter. I was just like, I really love the Howling Griffins color scheme. I'm going to paint some Howling Griffins models. And then I got some scouts for like a Christmas or something when I was like 16. It was like, these can be Howling Griffins because why not? They're a nice Space Marine chapter color scheme to do. And other than that, my local store has their own chapter called like the Emperor's Warhawks or something. They had a painting day where you could get a free model and paint it on in store as like a tutorial thing. Now I didn't need a tutorial at that point, but I went in to get a free Space Marine model anyway, because I know value when I see it. And so I have one of those painted up in an Emperor's Warhawks color scheme. And I think that is all the Space Marines I've painted. I've also separately painted one Chaos Space Marine. So yeah, I'm still not quite used to doing these guys. I'm definitely not used to doing them for camera.
There we go.
Do you need to
Exported
put more
all.
water on my brush? So I'm getting a little... It's getting a little obviously dry. I think. Now there's everything on this guy that needs to be green, now greened.
I also need to export a version of that frame of the animation
Oh wow,
that can
that
actually like work as a PNG tuber.
So this is your this is an update to your PNG tuber then? Because obviously it's the same character, but
well, like I had this idea, and that caused me to rework my PNG tuber
I see.
to work with it. I originally drew like this, like exact pose for this, so that I can like record it for the video speaking. And then of course drawing 8 frames of animation is faster than drawing like one PNG tuber, slower than drawing one PNG tuber. I also have this one for when I'm not drawing. I want to do more, but it's a lot of work. And then I can just switch to drawing.
Now this guy, he's got lots of purity seals on him, which is gonna be a massive faff to deal with later. I have no idea what colour my purity seals are gonna be, because he's the first model with purity seals. For those not deep in the Warhammers, the purity seal is like a prayer that's stuck onto some piece of kit, armor or a tank or something with wax, and you wear them into battle and they do absolutely nothing, but they're very, very important. Like lots
They
of
make you feel
stuff.
confident.
They make you feel better about yourself.
About
Presumably,
committing atrocities.
presumably, given that they're called purity seals, there must be like a requirement of purity to be able to get one, but I have no idea what that is or how it's tested.
Your sword just has to be really pure in iron when it tears through enemies.
Oh.
That's all it's for.
Kingle says it sounds like something gets in the way at a Catholic school.
I mean, once upon a time, Warhammer 40k was like satire.
Yep. Gosh, those must have been the days.
Yeah.
I did find it kind of darkly funny when when COVID was like in its high thing, and the death toll numbers were coming in, and people were like, in 40k, in this parody universe that is supposed to be like everything's over the top evil, one of the things that the Imperium Man does that's how you know it's super evil is it sacrifices 1,000 souls a day to the dead god emperor of mankind to keep his like basically dead body still intact and his like shattered consciousness somewhere within his skeletal skull. Oh was open somewhere. I've now got paint all over my hands. Good job, Dizzy. And then the COVID death toll figures were coming in as like, we are sacrificing 1,000 souls a day, just in the UK, not in a galaxy-spanning empire, just in the UK, just to keep capitalism going. I really need to finish this off. It's like, oh, okay, we are literally beyond parody here. Good job, humanity. This is why the aliens won't speak to you. This is my assumption would have been they were supposed to maintain purity rather than display purity. Maybe. Like I say, I don't know exactly how they get them. I know they have no.
Basically like, I'm no heretic. Look at my sheet of paper that I waxed onto myself.
Oh god, they sound like indulgences when you put them that way.
My phone is making noises.
I mean, I'm sure 40k must have
dinner today.
I can't imagine they wouldn't. Do I mean indulgences? Things that you bought from the Pope to say that he'd forgiven you.
I'm not familiar enough with Christianity to know about that.
Well, they don't do it anymore. It was like one of the big sticking points in the Reformation and then the split with like Protestantism was, you know, look at how much of a joke our religion is. You can literally buy forgiveness.
I am.
Boom says, yes, those are indulgences. Fantastic. Artie says, is there also a 40k Martin Luther and Space 95 Theses? I don't think so. There are a variety of important like prophets and stuff in the 40k history. I imagine Lorgar, who is, for those of you who don't know, so the Chaos Space Marines came from regular
very
Space
deep
Marines.
in the 40k lore.
Yeah, the Chaos Space Marines are regular Space Marines who got chaosed. Space Marines have Primarchs who are in charge of the different units of Space Marines. Lorgar was one of the Primarchs of the people who turned to Chaos, and the reason why he turned to Chaos was the God Emperor really didn't want to be treated as a god. This is irony. And Lorgar really wanted to treat him as a god, and he wrote a big old book about why you should worship the God Emperor, or why you should worship the Emperor as a god. And then the Emperor didn't like that. And so Lorgar was like, fine, I'll turn to some gods who do want to be worshipped. And that was the Chaos Gods, who love being worshipped. But yeah, so I think he might view himself as a bit of a Martin Luther figure. I don't... You could argue that... You could argue that whoever was the first ecclesiarch... So after the God Emperor died, when he was still the Emperor, he still wasn't worshipped for quite a while, and then, like, the faction that worshipped him suddenly kind of took over at one point afterwards. So I guess you could view that guy as being like a Martin Luther figure, but maybe more sort of like a kind of Prophet Muhammad figure, maybe.
I just realized I commented on my phone making noise, but I didn't actually check why it made noise.
It was a trick. Someone tipped you again.
I mean, I only added one trick phone alert.
I wish my camera would focus better on things that I'm trying to show,
gosh,
show
trying to
the
respond
people
to
at
text
home.
message in Norwegian while I'm hearing English.
Oh.
It's fine, it's fine.
That was too much water. That was too much water. Okay, it's fine.
And then we connect that aux cable into the phone, so I'm the only one who can hear it. Oh no, I put a typo in the name of this one file. However, will I survive? Oh, the files are all out of order. No! Don't do that. There we go. And then I just need to export the here. These two layers.
I need to start using my pinchy again. 'Cause I'm getting my fingers in stuff I've previously painted. It's not good. It's not good at all.
I'm trying to use it. Copy. Paste. And change an integer.
Oh, my goodness. Hello to QT Cobb. Thank you so much for the follow. I hope you're enjoying the stream. I hope you can kind of see this properly, because I realise that it's not focusing very well on the stuff I'm doing. For which I apologise.
Looking at that username, my brain just goes, QT Cobb! It feels very manic for some reason. Okay. Well, I'm gonna take my PNG tuber off the screen so that I can reconfigure it
Ooh.
to allow this new one. So first one, oh, no, it's done away with it.
Don't tell Duncan Jones. This layer is much too.
Are you doing crimes?
The paint layer I've got is not working for me, so I'm adding a bit of thicker layer over the top, which may or may not be a painting crime.
Oh no. Well, all that ends well bodes well. No, that's not right.
Could be. You could make it a new saying. All that ends well
I
bodes
do not
right.
think I have a power to create sayings.
You are an online influencer.
When did that happen?
How long have we been in a Discord call for? An hour and a half ago.
Roughly 1.5 hours, yeah.
At least that long. Because that's how long you've been influencing my chat on voice call.
Oh, damn, I'm terribly sorry, this is chat. I didn't mean to influence you.
What was the other bit? There was another bit that I was like, oh, this needs... Oh, is it there? There we go. See, this is the edge of the... This bit I'm getting in there. That's the edge of the eagle that I was talking about before that you couldn't see on the other miniature. Can on this guy though. That's gonna be
I'm
an
sorry,
absolute
Shaka.
bitch to
I didn't
steal
mean to
all the
influence
time.
you.
You'll be fine, chat. Oh, I forgot his feet. I forgot his feet. Chat, he nearly didn't have green feet.
Oh my gosh. What is that, like a weird foot version of like having green thumbs?
He's a gardener, but he only gardens with his feet. I guess if he was like if he was an amputee gardener or somebody who'd been born without their legs. I personally never cease to be amazed by the things that people can do with their feet. Often people who don't have any other choice, but sometimes even people who do have another choice.
Yeah, like I learned that people had to make do without arms in like primary school, and I was like, I should probably train my like feet to do stuff in case I ever arrive at that point.
Amazing.
And now I just casually pick up things with my feet when I can't be bothered to lean down.
Once again, I have watered down this paint too much. I do not know why I am so good at doing that, but I am.
It's a skill.
It's not a skill that I wanted. Right, okay, those feet are definitely going to have to be redone at some point. But they're too wet currently for me to do anything about them. So, I'm going to have to lump it. What time are we at? 2:57. I don't think I'm going to get a layer of green on all of these guys by 3. We'll see how we're doing. It says the archery guy with no arms is pretty cool. I don't know who that is. But that does sound incredibly cool. Boom says he lost his arms, assumes there must be some codified way of doing armless archery. There wasn't, so he invented it. That's really cool. I've seen people, like circus performery type people, do archery trick shots with their feet. But I'm guessing that there's not just a school that teaches you foot archery. That's really cool that he did that.
Huh. Apparently once you like configure the toggle with hotkeys in RioTuber, you can't like manually disable a layer if it has a hotkey for it. Shoot, I have to configure a new hotkey.
I'm sorry, my default working position on the Warhammer miniature is just very slightly off camera, so I have to reorient myself every time.
Disable all the old ones and show the new ones. There we go. That's configured. And it reacts to me talking, but the hair is chopped in half. Let's link that to the correct layer, shall we?
I have no idea what Shasskor is doing, just so everyone knows. I'm looking at your screen, and it's all news to me.
I mean, would you like to see?
Maybe? I don't know. It might terrify me. It might make me in awe of you.
Let me see. There we go. Oh, no, it has turned something on again. Why is it doing that?
It turned off the second you, I know that much.
let's turn off that timeout.
Shaskor's off to go and program some arrays. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Have fun, everyone. We're all wonderful, apparently. Well, you are wonderful too, Shaka. Enjoy your arrays. And thank you so much for stopping by. If you haven't already given Shasskor a follow, go and give Shasskor a follow as well.
If 3 more people follow me, I have to stop whatever I'm doing and draw whatever you want me to.
You have the that sort of a goal.
Yeah, don't you remember when you
Yep,
arrived and
I got caught out by it because I had no plan.
Oh gosh, Trengali followed me, but it didn't make a sound.
Trengali is sneaky like that. Also, hi Trengali, you're being super sneaky because I didn't even know you're in my chat.
Thank you so much for the follow, Trengali. That is very kind of you. Oh gosh, I just realized I probably need to configure the other shortcuts to hide this one now. What keys? It seems to have done it by default. We have a lurker! Don't worry, I've only killed 1 lurker.
Well, like I say, lurkers are wonderful and appreciated. As always.
Let me configure a hotkey so that I can switch between this and out of it. This is all very behind the scenes stuff that I'm very much doing on the scene of the crime. What? No crimes here. No siree.
There are definitely crimes happening over here.
I didn't realize this was the Tuesday crime stream? Is it Tuesdays?
Normally my crime streams are Mondays, but not since I started Baldur's Gate with Shaka on Mondays. That's why Thief Sim was gone for many weeks and then just randomly showed up for the finale on Tuesday. It's because my stealth game streams are sort of homeless now. And we've solved that by having finished our stealth game. So now it's fine that they're homeless because there aren't any to need homes.
Yay! Wait, is that yay?
I don't know. It kind of sounds like that Mitchell and Webb "Have you tried killing all the poor" sketch. Have you tried just not having any homeless streams?
I think something has happened now.
Right, I'm gonna shake this up again. This time I'm gonna...
My PNG tuber has doubled up.
Oh, it was like that before?
Yeah, but that was on purpose.
Oh, okay.
This isn't. Now I'm currently in the middle of setting up a new mouse macro. And it seems to have accidentally enabled another layer than it was supposed to. Save that macro. And then assign it to the
Oh,
next
Dizzy,
button.
you just put your fingers in everything again. Sorry. It's just getting upset with myself. For my own foolish bad decisions.
What's going wrong there? Oh gosh, this is very bugged now. So, the old toggle that usually toggled between like the normal talking one and this one now toggles between the drawing one and the showing drawing one. Wait, what? Okay, the toggles have gotten all sorts of messed up. I gotta fix this. Hang on. numpad toggles. Delete those. They're not helping. Okay, when I... it's because it's configured to toggle. That would do it. Okay, if I do that then... Okay, that no longer works as intended though. This is very confusing. Hang on, did I... Oh! Oh no!
Oh?
Wait, what? Oh! I thought I accidentally loaded a version before I made all the changes, but what I actually did was saving by accident. Which is not a problem, thankfully.
Okay. I had a big problem with saving by accident the other day because apart from possible spoilery TZ D&D things, I also obviously run a D&D campaign. I've been making a dungeon for them for the next chapter, and I did the main floor of the dungeon, which is the vast majority of the rooms. Saved it, got it all sort of finalized, and then needed to make a tower, which is just like, it's 2 floors of just one tiny part of this map. I was like, well, to save myself work, I will just use the existing bit of just use the existing file that I've got, and then just make a new copy of that, and cut out all of the stuff that's not in the tower. Except after I deleted all of the stuff that's not in the tower, instead of clicking save as, I clicked save. So now my main map was just the tower, and I didn't have enough undos to undo deleting all of the stuff that I'd deleted. And so I had to redo the whole main floor pretty much from scratch. Which really sucked.
Oh no.
And then one of my players sort of commented that she's a teacher. She was like, "This is like an excuse that the student would come to me saying the computer ate my homework, but I promise I believe you more than I believe them." I'm like, thanks. That makes me feel so much better. It didn't. Just to clarify.
Okay, in the process of making the hotkey work, I have made it so that none of my hotkeys work.
That doesn't sound like a step in the right direction.
I don't think it is, no. Also, I should probably provide the chat with something to look at.
That is maybe one of the
while I'm
reasons
doing
also
this.
why I suggested showing me, so that everyone else can also see.
Hang on, I can turn on the animation and just play it non-stop while I work on this. Look at him go! I think what I'm gonna do is to delete all my existing hotkeys. And then create a hotkey to just hide all layers. Which I then will run before any other hotkeys.
This guy's, he's got visible tread on his boot. One of the other guys also has visible tread on their boot. I'm gonna just quickly paint that in case you can actually like see that on the models on the base. Super quick. No one will even notice that I missed it. spots, probably.
What? Why are those layers stuck on now? Okay, there we go. It's a bit finicky with the shortcuts. Why didn't they just remove the thing? That was weird. Oh shit, did I leave it on a timeout or something? I did. There we go. I am very dumbfounded. You found me and I was already done.
Oh, sweetie, I'm sure that's not true.
Let's make a new macro. Let's actually delete the old ones because they are broken and don't work anymore. Let's make a new one. And we're gonna record a mouse macro which first hides all the layers, then reveals all the layers. Well, not all the layers, just the needed layers. We wanted to do it all instantly, so that nobody notices.
Conceptually, this sounds incredibly botched to me.
I mean, ideally I'd have some sort of foot pedal to do this with, but this is the only way I've managed to make it work.
Can only work with what you got, I guess. Oh, I've just playing a whole bunch of stuff off camera because I'm not like that. There we go.
I've forgotten to give it a name.
Alright. 2 more guys left, and then I will be calling it for the stream, I think. Actually, I don't even know if I'm going to do 2 whole guys. That's a long time. That's like half an hour. Don't know if I can do this for half an hour. My neck gets super stiff when I'm leaning over and doing stuff like this. Might be time for me to pack up and wrap up. I think. It's a shame I didn't manage to get as much done as I wanted, but let's close this, get everything wet and painty out of the way before I go back. We don't want Kingo getting painted or wet. That happens enough as it is anyway. Punch that as well. Kingo says it always feels like we haven't done as much as we wanted. That's often the case. But I am still super happy with the wonderful King Girl the Umbreon, who is amazing. Thank you again so much, King Girl, for getting that for me. That is super sweet. I'm not unhappy with how the backside of this turned out. I wish we could have got the front side finished as well. But I've had a lot of fun. I hope you guys have also had a lot of fun. King Girl the Umbreon will almost certainly return next time I do an IRL stream, for whatever purpose that might be. There's not currently a plan to do one before maybe anniversary. If you have thoughts on the anniversary, you can give them to me in... hang on. My little Discord. I have like a stream suggestions-y type channel. I've also just had a look at my nails, and I have my freshly painted nails, and they've now got green paint on them, so good job, Dizzy. Actually, there's green paint all over me. This has just been a total disaster for me. Yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you, Shasskor, for joining me in voice call. That was actually super fun to have a human to bounce off of.
Yeah!
I'm going to send all my humans over to you in just a second.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Unless you're about
This
to
is a lot of pressure.
I have every confidence. There we go. Raid is up and ready. But yeah, if you have enjoyed, please drop a follow if you haven't already for some reason. Maybe consider subscribing if you want to support the stream. You can check out my throne as well if you want more IRL type streamy things, because a lot of the stuff on my throne is Lego and things for potential future Lego building streams. If you want to see more of me and my nail varnish is absolutely trash. I have done such a number on this stuff you would not believe. And you've seen it on camera and you still wouldn't believe. But yeah, you can head over there, and I will be very grateful for anybody who happens to be generous in the same way Kingo was. I'll be back tomorrow. I will be checking out some of the games from Steam Next Fest, because there's a lot of demos online, some of them really cute and cool, and I want to check them out. So remember to be here for that. That's at midday British time tomorrow. Other than that, my name has been Dizzy. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Ta everyone. Bye.
Bye.